People get ready, there's a train a-comin'. In the famous words of the Bitcoiner Curtis Mayfield, you don't need luggage, you just get on board.
We're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing.
Stimmies confirmed. Debt paydown confirmed. Confidence from the middle class and confidence from foreign debt markets at the same time that the U.S. debt is being paid down. It's a win-win. And oh yeah, at the same time, the government is reopening, and the Senate took no time to get to work as they drafted a new bill for the Bitcoin and crypto structure market bill. Bullish? And oh yeah, Bitcoin is now going to be used as everyday money, as Square is unleashing Bitcoin payments on 4 million merchants across the United States. But you can't buy coffee with your Bitcoin. Shut up. We've all seen the news from Donald Trump's press conferences at the White House yesterday, or maybe you haven't. But I can almost guarantee you that you didn't hear this little snippet from Donald Trump in an interview yesterday with Fox News that is so bullish for Bitcoin. He's laying out an agenda for what's going to happen in 2026. Lower interest rates and a booming economy. It's going to unleash trillions of dollars into capital markets. We got a lot to cover today. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Let's go. Dante, what's this clip of? Well, it's a clip of Donald Trump and his entourage showing up at the golf course just a day before government shutdowns ended. And what it tells me is that sometimes guys just need a little weekend away with the boys to get refreshed and re-energized. And that's what seems like happened down there at that golf course, because Donald Trump came back on a mission. He announced yesterday, among a dozen other things, like the government's going to be reopening.
Based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything, and we have support from enough Democrats, and we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
He also announced the forecast for the next 6 months. Lower interest rates and too late Jerome Powell out of there. Booming economy unleashed.
And I have a lousy Fed person who's going to be gone in a few months, fortunately. I have a guy too late, Jerome Powell, we call him too late. He was too late in everything, except when it came to before the, the so-called Democrat election, which didn't work. But we're going to get interest rates down. But even with interest rates up, the economy is the strongest it's ever been. You asked me, just to go back to the beginning of your question, you talked about prices. We're down on energy. We're down on interest rate. Interest rates are down despite the Fed. Now, if we had a normal person at the Fed would have really low interest rates, and we will soon have that.
Back to the government reopening. The Senate got right to work as the Senate Agricultural Committee drafted a new bill, a bipartisan crypto and structure market bill, which had a few bullish things. They labeled a digital commodity as a fungible asset that's based upon blockchain technology that would allow peer-to-peer transactions without intermediaries. So that means there's only one, Bitcoin. Ethereum, out of there. All you other crypto tokens out of there, but that won't actually fly. They're going to say they're tokens without intermediaries. They also said specific things like they're going to have exclusive jurisdiction over crypto exchanges and markets and mandate things like segregated customer funds. Pretty novel. This is going to get rid of all of the shenanigans that led to these crypto market blowups in the first place. They also put in things like open source developers and self-custody wallets are not going to be subject to money transmitter laws and rules. Pretty bullish for Bitcoin. We were already on the fast track for this stuff before the government shutdowns, and it's pretty clear that this administration wants to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. Here's some words from Scott Bessent before the government shutdown happened.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street.
Some massive things to look for. Bitcoin being treated as money and capital gains taxes being removed on basic Bitcoin transactions. And it looks like there's companies already capitalizing on this, like Square, who's unleashing Bitcoin payments for 4 million sellers. Jack Dorsey said this is going to allow coffee shops and merchants to earn Bitcoin and stack Bitcoin, to receive Bitcoin and transfer it to fiat, to receive fiat and transfer it to Bitcoin, or what they've always been able to do, fiat to fiat. David Marcus, the payment executive and Bitcoin Lightning expert, says that he thought that this transition would take 10 years. We're going to see it in 2.
I think this is going to develop.
So my bet is, let's take 10 years. My bet is in 10 years, every company in the world that needs to send payments cross-border will use Lightning to do that, either knowingly or not knowingly, but the underlying technology that will transport value cross-border for the world will be Lightning for any consumer and any company. And when you think about the opportunity is enormous. Like right now, SWIFT/correspondent banking processes still about $5 trillion a day. And that's with all of the constraints, right? You can't do it after 5 p.m. You can't do it Friday night or over the weekends. It's costly to send an international wire. So maybe it's not maybe it's $50 trillion a day of value that really wants to travel, but is constrained by the current limitations of the system.
$50 trillion of value is waiting to flow into the Bitcoin and capital markets. This is clearly a massive agenda item for this administration, and this is bullish that this reality of $50 trillion in capital can actually be realized. When Donald Trump says that the payment system is broken and that transactions take several days or several weeks, well, something is wrong. This is a major agenda item for this administration, and we will see capital flowing into Bitcoin as a result.
Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after?
The logical winner of this is going to be Bitcoin. But let me give you some alpha that you don't hear anywhere else, and I've said this before. The most massive unlock in terms of Bitcoin being rolled out into the economy is Bitcoin being enabled for 1031 exchanges. What happens with real estate is that you can sell real estate and then transfer it into a like-kind asset without capital gains taxes. Right now, we're seeing that the real estate market needs a new influx of capital. So what I believe that senators and congressmen are going to do is allow for Bitcoin to be sold without capital gains if transferred into an asset like real estate, or vice versa, sell your real estate and put it into Bitcoin. This is going to unlock trillions of dollars in value because they're trying to look for solutions as to what's going to make the mortgages affordable. But instead of increasing the length of the mortgage to 50 years, well, you hold an asset that decreases the amount of time that you hold the debt on the mortgage. Bitcoin. 50-year mortgage isn't going to solve the problems, despite what Donald Trump says here.
Your housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So a significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you know, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is you pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you pay less per month. You pay it over a longer period of time.
This is so ridiculous because people can't do basic math. Let me put up a simple chart here. Sure, you're going to save a few $100s a month in your payment, but you're going to pay a few $100,000 more in terms of interest payments to banks. These are all band-aid solutions and point to a system that is broken. Signpost. Fannie Mae says that you no longer will need a credit score, and they're dropping their minimum rating of 620 for you to buy a house. Sounds like late market cycle behavior. The median age of a U.S. home buyer now is 61 years old. That's grandma and grandpa buying their second and third houses down in Florida. And the share of first-time home buyers, well, it's just 21%. And there's now studies that are showing that there is a correlation between the lack of fertility or lower fertility rates and the lack of home ownership. No keys, no kids. And that's why we always advocate into assets that you can own, which is why people that have Bitcoin tend to have more kids and tend to have more confidence and invest longer into the future because they're thinking about the next generations to come and not just themselves. And that's why when you have an asset like this, you shouldn't sell it. And that's why we work with Ledn, the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans. They've issued over $9 billion worth of loans since 2018 and have done so at a fantastic clip with fantastic service, which is why they have over 1,000 five-star customer reviews. There's no credit checks, and fiat can be in your account in less than 6 hours. The application takes just 2 minutes. Go to learn.ledn.io/simply to get 0.25% off your first loan. We got you hooked up. And we talk about no keys, no kids. But when you go to buy a house, when you get the title and the deed, that shows that you actually own the house. Well, the same thing is true in Bitcoin. If you don't have the private keys, which is the title and deed to your Bitcoin, well, you don't own the Bitcoin. Well, you know how you can be sure that you own the Bitcoin? You remove your keys from the exchanges and remove your Bitcoin from the exchanges. Get a coach to learn how to do this the right way and confidently at the Bitcoin way. They will help you to get the title and deed to your Bitcoin so that you know that you actually own the sats that you say you do, so you can go buy coffee at Square or do whatever you want. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with their team to learn how to do this privately, safely, securely, and confidently. Go to thebitcoinway.com/simplybitcoin to get started. Breaking news, the Olympic Committee said yesterday that they're going to ban all transgender athletes from competing in women's events, saying that there's scientific evidence of men being stronger, faster, and having more size if they are born male. No duh. Has anybody seen Joanna Man? It's hilarious because a movie like that couldn't be made in 2025. But the point of the movie is, no duh, if you put a man with women, they will dominate. The outcome is inevitable. We don't need scientific evidence to tell us something that we already know. And we don't need experts in scientific evidence to tell us that the fiat experiment is going to end poorly. The only thing that can happen, and happens at the end of every cycle and every fiat experiment, is they have to debase the currency in favor of hard assets.
Listen, it is what it is, and this is so bullish for Bitcoin. They're going to have to print so much money. They're going to have to. Bitcoin is really priced with how much fiat currency is sloshing around in the world. And in order for all of this to play out and work, we have to debase our currency, we have to devalue our debt, and we have to create more fiat. It's going to send Bitcoin nuclear.
It is what it is. And that's why when Jeff Booth says that all things priced in Bitcoin are going down over time is true.
If you don't hold Bitcoin, your prices are going up. If you denominate in Bitcoin, all prices are coming down, and they will forever.
Everything gets cheaper in Bitcoin over time. And that's why we want to give you as many opportunities as possible to stack sats, to secure your sats, and to never sell your sats. And that's why we've partnered with Saz Mining. Saz Mining is a company that helps you to earn sats as easy as you can buy sats. They're 100% aligned with Bitcoin values because there's no middleman, there's no markup, there's no extra fluff in their contracts. You can own a state-of-the-art Bitcoin mining rig with carbon-free energy and stack Bitcoin like Satoshi while you sleep. Saz Mining doesn't tack on any extra fees, and they're 100% aligned with Bitcoiner values because they only make money when you make money. The model is based on a clean and simple revenue share. Scan the QR code to learn more and to start mining today. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Understand what's happening in the markets. Interest rates are going down. Too late, Jerome Powell is going to be out of there, and trillions of dollars of capital are going to be unleashed into markets. This is Dante Cook of Bitcoin Simply. Happy stacking.